Hi, Katie. It's John Knudson-Martin, and this recording is to talk to you about the first draft you made for your proposal, which I think is very good. And I know that this research is going to turn out great, but we got some a ways to go on it. And so I'm going to show you some of the things that I've said here. I'm going to let you read most of the comments yourself, and I'm sure we'll get together and talk about this later. But I want to show you how some of these comments work to facilitate you using the track changes uh, uh, comments that I put in. So this first comment right here is a wording suggestion. You're going to see lots of wording suggestions from me, and they're meant to help you. And this is specifically about this sentence here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to the track changes menu here and go back to the original so we can see how you wrote it. Assessing, instructing, and intervening young learning teachers, ... So I didn't think that was exactly what you meant to say, and I had a suggestion. I suggested that this sentence say, assessing, instructing, and intervening with young learning readers, ... There's only 3 dots in this. It's called an ellipsis. So I wanted to show you that. When you get it, you'll see it with the markup, and you can see that I've added a with here, and I've deleted a dot here. That's what I wanted you to see here. So that's just one of the ways I'm going to be using track changes to work with you in your writing. And then down in the statement of research problem, what you've done here in this first section, what is a large issue that needs to be examined, is you've stated, and I'll get down to it here, you stated that there is a tremendous amount of research that has been conducted, and that's true. There's a lot of research on reading, but what your job here is to describe that research. So what I want you to do in this section is to pick some selected papers out of your literature review and review them here. This is meant to help the reader understand what's known about helping struggling students, and that's what you need to put here. And then how this issue impacts the research site. You talk about here about how some of your students really struggle with reading, and you're not sure what the most effective strategies are, and that's what you want to research. So what you say is that after careful research in this area of literacy is conducted, hopefully assessments, instructional strategies, and interventions can be modified to effectively teach kids who may be at a disadvantage in this area. Yeah, that's what you want to get at. But what I don't want you to do is go to the research, find some ideas, and see if they work. What I want you, and Dr. Evans, your major professor, wants you to do is look at the practices that your school has now and assess how they work and how they don't work so well for this group of students. So that's what you're going to want to do. Your research can't, I say over here, your research can't just be a literature review. You're going to move on and do other stuff, right? That's the same issue here in purpose of the research. I've crossed this out, and in my comments, I say this research cannot be a literature review. The same thing I said before. You need to assess the program, and we'll get together, you and Dr. Evans and I will get together and have a conversation about how you can do that, right? And then your research question has the same issue as this up here. I'm going to show you one other thing about wording. In the statement of research problem, I made a lot of changes, and I've given you comments to, to read and think about changes that I thought would make this more effective. But if you look at this right here, sort of hard to see what I wanted you to do and how it would turn out. I recommend that you use this function of track changes and go to final. So what I'm suggesting is that you change this in this section, what is the large issue that needs to be examined, to there's a tremendous amount of research that has been conducted in the areas of assessment, instruction, and intervention with young children just learning to read, the first graders that you're wanting to study. As standards are being raised in literacy, so is the need to ensure that every child in learning is learning at a rate that will keep them from getting behind. Okay? And then you talk about approximately 1/3 of the students in the United States are reading below grade level, making it necessary for educators to do everything possible to ensure this number decreases, the number of students that are falling below grade level. That's great. What I've tried to do in this wording suggestions is make this more concise and to the point. Now what I want you to do from here on is talk about that research, just like I said before. So I'm going to change this back to showing markup, and it's hard to see what I wanted to do here, but if you use the track changes functions, I think that'll be clearer. All right. That's what I wanted to show you. Please read through all my comments and see what I want you to do. And we'll be talking soon. And please talk this over with your major professor, Dr. Evans. And he and I have already talked, and he will be guiding you to improve this. I'm looking forward to this research and hearing its results. I'm sure it's going to be good and exciting. Take care.